Hello everyone, welcome to the A&B Recaps channel. Today, we will be following episode 4 of the series Solo Leveling. As Jin-Woo leaped and soared through the air to evade the attacks of the Red Wolf, he reminded himself that survival alone had been a challenge. Determined to stop trembling in fear, he steeled his resolve and launched himself forward, landing a powerful punch squarely on the wolf's face, sending it flying. This remarkable feat was the result of his significant investment in muscle strength. He continued to exchange blows with the creature, but its steel-like jaws proved to be much stronger than his fists. Realizing he could not rely solely on brute force, Jin-Woo had no choice but to dodge and retreat. Without at least a two-person healing team, he knew that a weapon imbued with magic power was essential to combat the steel-fanged beast. Just as he was on the verge of being bitten, he swiftly opened his inventory and drew a sword, slicing the wolf in half. He had successfully eliminated the terrifying creature. To his astonishment, he suddenly possessed the esteemed sword of Xian's. Leader, a weapon worth $3 million, something he had never dreamed of affording. Even the wound on his face healed almost instantly. However, before he could fully grasp the situation, two more steel-fanged wolves appeared. Jin-Woo initially believed that having a weapon would guarantee his victory, but his sword became lodged deep in the ground, making it impossible to retrieve. As the wolves closed in, he finally managed to pull it free just in time. He struck at one of the wolves, but its powerful jaws clamped onto his weapon. Reacting swiftly, he delivered a forceful kick to its body and mustered all his strength to decapitate it. Witnessing this, the second wolf became frightened and fled. With this battle, Jin-Woo leveled up to level 2, increasing all his attribute points by 1. He realized that practical combat proved to be a more efficient way of leveling up compared to completing daily quests. The most noticeable improvement was in his muscle strength. Despite only having 32 points, his body felt significantly lighter. However, he observed something peculiar. The monsters he encountered only dropped items such as fangs, but did not yield any magic stones. This suggested that the dungeon and its creatures operated differently from those in reality. Interestingly, he discovered an item shop within the system, but at his current level, he could only sell items, not purchase them. He decided to sell the fang he had just obtained, receiving 20 gold in return. While contemplating his next move, a large pack of steel-fanged wolves emerged from the darkness. These were not yet the dungeon's bosses. Having already faced death once, Jin-Woo no longer hesitated. He charged forward, fearlessly confronting the wolf pack. He fought with precision, avoiding their bites and delivering decisive blows. Clutching his sword tightly, he was determined not to let fear overtake him again. As long as he remained alive, he vowed to find a way to grow stronger. If the system's rules were absurd, then he would simply comply with them to achieve his goal. After a relentless battle, Jin-Woo's level steadily increased, earning him the title of Wolf Slayer. His sword, however, was beginning to chip, and his body was growing exhausted from the sheer number of enemies he had faced. Among his inventory, he found a teleportation stone, an item that allowed him to exit the dungeon midway and return home without defeating the boss. Though this offered him an easy way out, it also meant forfeiting the chance to grow even stronger. Jin-Woo was torn between retreating and continuing his challenge, but ultimately, he resolved to press on. Meanwhile, Ji was walking when she unexpectedly received a call from the Hunter Association. They informed her that the gate from the other day was experiencing a dungeon break, and freelance hunters were being gathered to deal with the crisis. Since the location was close to her, Ji's expression suddenly turned serious. Back in the hidden dungeon, Jin-Woo continued to face a multitude of monsters. As his level increased, defeating them became easier. He noticed that the monsters' names displayed different colors, seemingly indicating their threat levels. White for weaker enemies, orange for those on par with him, and red for stronger foes. Interestingly, the steel-fanged wolves that had initially appeared red now displayed as white, signifying that he had become much stronger. Summoning all his remaining strength, he leapt onto the massive serpent, only to be thrown back down. Undeterred, he planted his broken sword into the creature's armor and clung on tightly. As Kasaka swung its massive jaws toward him, Jin-Woo discarded his weapon and used the muscle strength he had painstakingly increased to grasp the monster's head. With a final, desperate effort, he shattered its tough armor and crushed its neck, ending the battle. Defeating the Swamp King boosted Jin-Woo's level several times. As a reward, he received Kasaka's venomous fang, a shunk weapon, and a vial of venom, an A-rank item. With the boss defeated, the dungeon reverted to its original state, teleporting him back to the station. There, he found himself alone until a soldier arrived, ordering him to leave and scolding him for not listening to the news. However, upon noticing the weapon in Jin-Woo's hand, the soldier realized he was a hunter and led him to a nearby dungeon break. At the site, monsters were spilling out, and though the hunters had cleared most of them, the boss remained undefeated. The military and hunters were struggling to contain it, while civilians recklessly took photos, unaware of the danger. The team, hastily assembled to manage the crisis, lacked coordination and a high-ranking magic user. Most of the hunters were low-ranked, primarily E rank, with a few D rank fighters. The highest ranking healer was B rank, coincidentally G herself, but her fear rendered her ineffective. She was scolded by lower ranked hunters for her inaction. As the battle reached its climax, Jin-Woo intervened. With immense force, he hurled his broken sword at the boss's head, breaking through its defenses. This allowed the other hunters to strike, swiftly defeating it. One of them, astonished by the sudden turn of events, questioned who had thrown the weapon. The soldier pointed toward Jin-Woo, but by the time they looked, he had already disappeared. From a distance, Ji silently watched him leave. And that concludes episode 4 of Solo Leveling. If you enjoyed this recap, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for the latest updates. A&B appreciates all of you!